Still to come on Sportsworld, the end of an era for one of Australia's great racehorses. 3-year-old champion Terce goes out to pasture. In sailing, we'll meet one of our bright medal hopes at Barcelona, Christine Bridge, and visit the finishing school where athletes learn to be Olympians. The Margaret River Masters surfing competition is well underway in Western Australia. We'll join some of the world's top competitors, plus all the action in football and rugby league. That's still to come on Sportsworld.
Well, sadly this week it was announced that the colt Terce has been retired from racing. As Tim Wharton reports, the horse, which had a phenomenal career as a 2-year-old, will now go to stud and hopefully produce more champions like himself.
12 months ago, Terce was the toast of the racing industry, winning the 2-year-old Triple Crown, the Champagne Stakes, the Sire's Produce, and the big one, the Golden Slipper.
It's another one for Shane Dye. Terce wins the Slipper.
Now all that is just a memory, following a decision by Terce's connections and trainer Clary Connors to retire the colt after the horse bled following a recent barrier trial.
X-rays of his lungs showed that he had small scarring of the lungs, and we didn't want to risk any major bleeding attack, and so we just decided to retire the horse.
Outside, here comes the champ. Terce is coming after Big Dreams. Big Dreams in front, but Terce has gobbled him up in a stride, takes the lead, and he's going to win by a very good margin.
After seeing Terce dominate the racing scene last year, it was a difficult decision to retire the horse, with Connors certain that the colt would have won more prize money, both here and overseas.
We would have kept racing the horse if he hadn't have been syndicated recently, but the people who had bought the horse and new syndicate were against racing him, and you can't blame them, because we wouldn't want the horse to retire or to finish racing as a bleed or anything happen to the horse.
Did you imagine when you got him as a colt that he'd turn out to be the champion that he is?
No, never dreamt it. You know, he was nothing outstanding more than any other horse, but he just was just a great little horse.
But it's shades of Luskin Star. Go Terce. Terce 100 out is well clear. Running on doggedly now, Charday in the last bit, followed by High Precious.
Undoubtedly, watching Terce equal Luskin Star's feat and winning the Triple Crown will always stand out in Clary Connors' mind. To the trainer, the colt will always be a champion, and sadly, he doubts whether he'll find another like Terce.
It's very hard to say that. I don't think so. I don't think so. I just hope I do, that's all.
While Terce's days at the track may be over, the colt will still be contributing to racing, helping to breed future champions in stud. But before the colt goes off to his life of leisure, racing fans are likely to get one more chance to see him, with plans to parade him at this year's Golden Slipper. If it happens, it'll certainly be an emotional moment for one Clary Connors.
I'm a bit of a softie, I suppose. I don't know, might be another tear to the eye, I suppose.
Terce and Canonise, it's another one for Shane Dye. Terce wins the Slipper. Dye in the last bit, followed by High Precious, but Terce completes the Grand Slam. Terce has gobbled him up in a stride, takes the lead, and he's going to win by a very good margin.
So after 11 wins from his 16 starts, winning the Triple Crown like Luskin Star did in 1977, Terce going to stud, and his value is $2.7 million. Well, Keith Hillier's joined us here, and Max Presnell in Sydney. Welcome, Keith. He was a very good horse, wasn't he? And
yes, he was, Bruce. He was a great horse, and he gave Shane Dye one of a hat-trick of Golden Slippers too. Courtser and Canny Lad were the other two. Shame he's gone to stud, but he wasn't really training on, was he, to my mind?
No, I think he was certainly a better 2-year-old than he was a 3-year-old. Max Presnell, any argument there?
No, certainly not, gentlemen. Of course, Terce had a very vigorous and rigorous 2-year-old campaign. He was an outstanding 2-year-old. He probably verged on greatness. No, he was a great 2-year-old, but as with so many Golden Slipper winners in recent years, they don't really train on in their 3-year-old season for the one simple reason they're put under so much stress as young horses. But Terce did it, and I'd like to congratulate Clary Connors on a job well done with Terce.
Yes, and Clary's still bowling along, burst to winning yesterday, and he's had some very good horses. What about the track reading yesterday at Rose Hill? Superimpose, the Connections said that after the second race on the program, they realised that their fellow couldn't win the Ranvet.
Yes, well, that is a point of conjecture. The racecourse manager yesterday morning declared the ground as good. It had more grass on it than ever before. Later in the day, when races were on it, the times weren't bad. They were on the good side. But the stewards then had the, shall we say, the job of assessing the racing conditions of the track, and they left it as good. They made a mistake. The punters of Australia should have been warned that yesterday's ground at Rosehill was dead. Now, you mentioned superimpose. On a dead surface, the balance swung towards Rough Habit in the Randvet. Now, the punters on the track knew that, but certainly the off-course punters didn't, and I'd say if there are any villains in this piece, and I only use that lightheartedly, it's the STC stewards. They should have changed the ground reading to dead.
What about Jim Cassidy, Keith? A great rider, but gee, he'd have a sore neck this morning. He's had 48 looks in the straight on Rough Habit. Overconfident?
I don't know whether it was overconfidence. Max would have a better idea of that, Bruce, but I thought Rough Habit, and if Max is using terms in brackets, doggedly or dogged it. Rough Habit, he didn't seem to want to go on with it, to my mind.
Don't think he did his best. Max, what was your feeling on that?
Oh, the experienced eye of Hillier. I thought watching the race that Cassidy was a trifle overconfident, but then on the replay and noting the steward's report that Rough Habit was trying to get out over the latter stages. Congratulations, Keith. And of course, Rough Habit only went down by a short half head to my eagle eye, and had my eagle eye Hillier, and had he won the race, I'm sure he would have lost it on protest.
OK, Max, you're just in front on points at the moment. As we go to the Randvet Stakes, let's have a look at Rough Habit. And Jimmy does have a good look around on the turn.
Just a dancer on the outside of Superimpose, and Beedman's entitled to be a little bothered about how he's going to get out of there as they go by the 800 mark. Stylish Century led about a half on Dr. Grace, Magnolia Hall, and then just Tommy Cassidy's off on Rough Habit. He's sweeping around them 3 wide up towards the lead. Then My Eagle Eye, followed by Castletown, Star of the Realm. Superimpose into the clear now. He'll be taken to the outside as they turn the corner, and Just a Dancer last as they straighten. Stylish Century led. Dr. Grace is after him. Rough Habit is looming to them on the outside. He's got them covered, and Cassidy's confident. Rough Habit has raced to the lead from Dr. Grace, Stylish Century, then My Eagle Eye. Cassidy's looking for Superimpose, but he's nowhere to be seen. Rough Habit is in front. Now he's got to go for him. Here's the danger. My Eagle Eye. My Eagle Eye is coming at Rough Habit. Rough Habit still in front. My Eagle Eye is coming home the best on the outside. They hit it, I think. My Eagle Eye in a boil over. My Eagle Eye by a nose to Rough Habit, Stylish Century, then Dr. Grace, Star of the Realm. Superimpose didn't do much in the run home.
Well, make up your own mind there on Rough Habit whether or not he was completely genuine in the run up the straight. Superimpose out of the placings with Star of the Realm. I reckon we should mention Stylish Century. What a remarkable horse he is to finish a half a length away with all that he's been through over the years.
Yes, and his trainer says the best is yet to come from Stylish Century too. He's just warming up, Bruce.
I thought he might say that, the trainer. What did you think, Max?
Oh, I think Stylish Century is a remarkable racehorse, and if only I had a heart as big.
Oh, you'd win the Melbourne Cup 4 times. Superimpose, can he still win the Doncaster? That's the big question.
Superimpose can win the Doncaster, but excuse my sarcasm, but Superimpose is a fair weather champion. If everything breaks Superimpose's way, he can win it
out, Max. He's won 2 Epsoms and 2 Doncasters. He's one of the great horses.
Yes, but Bruce, I'm trying to point out that everything went his way. Now, when there is a little bit of moisture on the track and he gets his footsies a bit damp, he can't put his best foot forward.
I don't believe this.
The Superimpose, Bruce, that you saw yesterday, was that the Superimpose at Randwick last start? And also, you'll say he's a better horse at Randwick than he is at Rosehill. He won the Randvet 12 months ago at Rosehill.
Yeah, but he did run last in the BMW last year and then came out and won the Doncaster at his next stop.
That's what I'm saying. I've never known an outstanding horse or a champion, which on his day Superimpose is, that can vary his form as much.
I'm the third man in the ring. Leave me right out of this one. Max is getting far too heavy.
Well, Max, well, I'm speechless. But what are you saying, that he's inconsistent?
Exactly. He's inconsistent, but if he gets the right set of circumstances in the Doncaster, despite his big weight, he can win. That's Superimpose.
Don't you dare come on the program the day after and tell us what a great champion is. Let's go to the mares race, the Winfield. Gee, this has improved. Acushla Marie.
600 metres out in the Winfield, Akushla Marie and Shavano Miss and Mamselle Perdue with the baldy face makes a line of 3. Right behind those Quiet Queen, who's pushed deep on the corner, and then Western Chorus followed by On the Beach. Mannerism is looking for an inside run. In fact, she'll get a split between these leaders now as they turn for home. Akushla Marie, the leader from Mamselle Perdue. Mannerism taking a while to wind up under the big weight, and then Quiet Queen, and here comes Let's Hurry down the outside with a big run. Akushla Marie has dashed clear with 150 to go. Let's Hurry right out in the centre is the only danger. No danger. Akushla Marie holding Let's Hurry at bay, and Akushla Marie wins the Winfield. Let's Hurry second, third Mamselle Perdue, fourth is Mannerism.
Just stick with her, Keith. You've seen her win the Francis Tressady and the Diamond Jubilee.
I didn't bet, Bruce, but she's very good. And young Wayne Davis, he's only 21. He's had 10 rides on that mare, or 13 rides for 10 wins, and Tony Harrison trains her. Great combination.
Max, Mannerism, pretty good run from a Doncaster point of view?
Yes, I thought a reasonable run. She had conditions to suit, had a nice run in the race. A trifle disappointing, but I'm not going to wipe her from the Doncaster point of view.
No, she drops a lot in weight. Why was Richfield Lady scratched, by the way? I didn't catch up with that. Was there a reason? Was she injured?
Now, well, Richfield Lady has been under a fitness cloud ever since she arrived in Sydney. Well, this campaign, and I think it's just probably starting to rear again, but certainly Richfield Lady is not the sort of horse that you'd want to be backing in future races until Bart Cummings can steady you down and just get to the bottom of what the current problem is.
Fair enough. Let's go to the Todman. Here's the hot favourite now for the Golden Slipper, Clan O'Sullivan.
700 metres out, Clan O'Sullivan held together, led by a length to Our Sailor Man, Vertingly third and travelling at the moment, and then Facile on the outside, followed by Hajiro Kingdom, Archery Lake on the outside, a gap to High Secret Captain's Review, and then Hall of Fame, Dinky Forever, Maple Flag off the track, and then Under a Spell as they corner. In the straight past the 400, and Cooksley gave the leader a sound out. Clan O'Sullivan dashed away, 2 on Vertingly, who's in second place, and then Facile, and the others are 1,000,000 to 1. Coming to the 200, and the Clan is in full flight. He's 3 in front of Vertingly and Facile. They're both under the whip doing absolutely nothing. Here's the Golden Slipper favourite. He'll start even money on Slipper Day. Clan O'Sullivan streaking away, and there's a win by 5 lengths to Vertingly, third Facile, fourth Maple Flag, followed by Hall of Fame.
Well, he's very impressive, there's no doubt about that, Max. So you brought up the Canterbury Guineas in relationship to the AJC Derby last week in history. Well, history says Black Opal winners don't win the Golden Slipper. Blazing Saddles, Just Blooming and Comely Girl, the only horses that have won the Black Opal and been placed. This bloke's about to break a record, do you think?
I think that Clan O'Sullivan is probably better than those horses. I think he's a great chance. His time yesterday wasn't as good as Burst, another Golden Slipper hope in an earlier race. His overall time, his sections more than compared with her. He's a very, very good 2-year-old. He looks like a 3-year-old. Perhaps he had a shade of improvement left in him. He blew up after the race. I'm sure that Frank Cleary will have him 100% wound up for the Golden Slipper. I think he'll just about win. I can't convince myself at this stage that he's a certainty to beat Burst, but perhaps in the next 10 days or so I'll just get that little bit of an edge.
You convinced, Keith?
I'll go stronger, Bruce. He broke 35 for his last 600 metres. Burst didn't do that yesterday. He's got the physique of Rancher, he's got the speed of Vane and the manners of Manikato. They can start putting that slipper on his hoof already. He's a good thing in the slipper.
I haven't known you to be that confident for a long time. Clan O'Sullivan, just put your money on, Keith says. Let's go to Burst winning the Fillies trial and see if she can beat Clan O'Sullivan, in your opinion, in the Golden Slipper.
To the corner, 4:50 to go. Jeune Star just led over Clocker. In third place, So Spectacular. Dan Zadark is blocked away as they turn for home. Reba Diva's behind a wall of horses straightening up, and Burst is now pulled to the outside, and going with her is Marbecca. At the 200, Clocker shot clear of Dan Zadark. Reba Diva is weaving and ducking and diving. Now she's into the clear with Burst further out, but Clocker with a terrific turn of speed has raced clear. Burst is after her now on the outside. Burst is closing fast. She's coming at 100 miles an hour. Di took hold of her right on the line, and Burst won very, very well over Clocker. Now third, either Reva Diva or Chinquillo.
She won at Gosford and then was scratched Burst, but she's very good. Keith, I'm not going to give Reva Diva away completely. She looked terribly disappointing, but I think she'll improve sharply in the Golden Slipper.
The only excuse you couldn't make one in the run. The only excuse, Bruce, is that often 2-year-olds fail at their first way, the reverse way of going, but other than that, I couldn't subscribe to your theory.
OK, fair enough. I'm up against it today, both Max and Keith against me. Now, what about this Far Lap Stakes? My Wandering Star at 50 to 1, which suggests, Max, that the 3-year-olds in Sydney are very ordinary because he has been struggling in Victoria. I could hear you chuckling there, but it was a roughhouse race, and this is where the jockeys were suspended, Cooksley and Oliver.
Yes, the 3-year-olds in Sydney are ordinary when they get knocked over about a furlong and a half after the start. Kinjite, who incidentally is a Queenslander, put up an outstanding performance after copping a check early. Rappan Boy, forget the run. He's got more bark off him than a ring bark tree this morning. The interference he copped. You can forget the 4. My Wandering Star, well, he's won the day. Best of luck to him. But it was a race marred by interference, and I would suggest that you overlook the form.
OK, well, Oliver misses out on riding Scalacci in the rider, but for Cooksley, who rode 4 yesterday, good news in a way. He comes back 2 days before the slip where he rides Clan O'Sullivan. Let's look at the Far Lap Stakes and see how My Wandering Star fluked it, according to Max.
400 metres out, Social Rule, and My Wandering Star are the 2 leaders clear of Romany Conti. The riderless horses up there amongst the pack, and then Regal Arch followed by Shador and Rappan Boy giving them a huge start at the 200 mark. My Wandering Star and Social Rule. The filly Romany Conti is trying to pick them up, followed by Not Related. 100 out though, My Wandering Star and Social Rule. My Wandering Star grabs a narrow lead close to home and punched to the line. My Wandering Star wins the Far Lap. Social Rule second. Romany Conti's in a photo for third with Kinjite wide out.
Well, you're a good judge, Max, I've got to admit, because Kinjite was flashing home there, Keith. Colin Alderson is having a very good run, and congratulations, if we can say congratulations, because last week you alerted everybody that all was not well with Let's Elope and Shivers Revenge, and neither of them ran yesterday in the Ranvet, and Let's Elope's out for the autumn, and maybe Shivers Revenge is as well.
Yes, he still has the Sydney Cup pencilled in, but I believe it's no more than that at this stage, Bruce. Incidentally, that race yesterday, Mick Dittman said someone could have been killed in it. Darren Beedman said he felt like he was inside a pinball machine, and another jockey said it was absolutely unbelievable, so it was a roughhouse. OK, well, Max, you haven't upset me today or the Sydney stewards, I'm sure, and I hope we talk to you next week, mate.
That'll be my pleasure.
Good on you, Max. And Keith, good punting, and thanks for those scones. They were delightful.
Good on you, Bruce. See you next week. May Dame Fortune attend you.
I'm sure she will. We'll take a break yachting after this.